The shocking story of the Lod Airport Massacre, 1972. It was a warm spring evening on May 30th, 1972, when Lod Airport, now known as Ben Gurion International Airport, bustled with travelers, unaware that terror lurked among them. A Japan Airlines flight from Rome had just landed in Tel Aviv, Israel. Among its passengers were 3 men, seemingly ordinary, dressed in suits, each carrying a violin case. They blended into the crowd, just tourists visiting a foreign land. But these were no musicians. They were trained operatives on a deadly mission. As they walked through baggage claim, they suddenly dropped their violin cases, pulled out checkmate VZ-58 assault rifles and grenades, and unleashed chaos. The tranquil airport turned into a war zone. Bullets ripped through the terminal, travelers screamed, and bodies fell. The attackers, later identified as Kozo Okamoto, Tsuyoshi Okadera, and Yasuyuki Yasuda, were not Arab militants. They were members of the Japanese Red Army, JRA, a radical communist group that had joined forces with the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine External Operations, PFLPEO, a militant Palestinian organization. In a span of minutes, 26 people were killed and 80 others wounded. Among the dead were 17 Christian pilgrims from Puerto Rico, 8 Israelis, and 1 Canadian. One attacker, Yasuda, was shot and killed by security forces. Another, Okadera, detonated a grenade, killing himself in a suicide blast. The third, Kozo Okamoto, was wounded and captured alive. Despite his injuries, Okamoto remained defiant. He was interrogated and revealed chilling details. The attack was meant as a retaliation against Israel and a show of international unity between leftist revolutionaries and Palestinian militants. The Japanese Red Army was a Marxist-Leninist group with global ambitions of revolution. They saw their fight as part of a larger anti-imperialist struggle and were eager to align with Palestinian militants against the West and Israel. In return, the PFLPO sought external fighters who could avoid suspicion, and who better than Japanese extremists, who would not be seen as typical terrorists. Okamoto was tried and sentenced to life imprisonment in Israel. However, in 1985, after serving 13 years, he was released in a prisoner exchange deal between Israel and Palestinian groups. He later fled to Lebanon, where he was granted political asylum. Even in exile, he remained a symbol of radical extremism and was under constant surveillance by intelligence agencies. The Lod Airport Massacre changed airport security worldwide. It exposed vulnerabilities in screening passengers and led to stricter airport security measures in Israel and beyond. This attack also demonstrated how international terrorist alliances could bring unexpected threats. No one imagined a Japanese faction would commit a terror attack in Israel, but this event shattered that notion. The Lod Airport Massacre was one of the deadliest airport attacks in history, a chilling reminder that terror knows no borders. It was a well-planned, unexpected, and brutal act of violence that forever changed how nations approached airport security and global terrorism.